Hello everyone and welcome to Monterey, California. I am joined by my friend Chelsea.
Hi.
Who is also Mayo's owner. And today I am collaborating with the Equine Healing Collaborative. This is a really special farm that's doing amazing things and they really need fundraising help. So I'm here to highlight them in the hopes that we can help them with their fundraising endeavors. Stay tuned to follow us along on this journey. It's going to be a really fun trip and I'm really excited to see some amazing farm animals. And don't forget, if you want to see more of these videos where I'm traveling around the world and highlighting different rescues, that you gotta hit that subscribe button. Now it's time to hit the road. The Equine Healing Collaborative serves as a sanctuary for animals and a refugee for people. They not only rescue sick, abandoned, or elderly animals, but also offer psychotherapy to individuals who truly need it. Operated by licensed therapists, harnessing the therapeutic benefits of animals and the beauty of nature.
Hi everybody, my name is Jennifer Fenton and I am the Executive Director of the Equine Healing Collaborative. And we are a nonprofit organization that provides equine-assisted psychotherapy. So we provide mental health services using all of our rescue horses, dogs, cats, goats, and pigs. And we are currently facing some pretty significant challenges. We live on this beautiful 56-acre sanctuary for our 45 plus rescue horses, and unfortunately currently it has been listed for sale, and so we are currently in the process of doing fundraising. We would love to purchase this place. We want to stay here forever because again, this is a sanctuary for all of our rescue animals, as well as the hundreds of people who come here monthly for help. And so we're just kind of reaching out to the public and we're asking for their help. We are very much a grassroots organization. We do not have large donors or funders. Every time that we've ever run into any kind of financial issue, it's usually folks from the grassroots who help us. So we reached out to Vanessa from Girl with the Dogs and we invited her to come down to our sanctuary to see if she might be interested in learning how to groom a horse. And we're very grateful that we have the possibility to reach all of the folks who follow her and who have followed her for years. You are welcome to find out more information about our nonprofit at equinehealing.org, and you can follow the links below to follow us on social media.
You're about to have the opportunity to watch me groom this beautiful white horse. Before we dive in, I'd like to invite everyone to follow the Equine Healing Collaborative on social media and, if possible, contribute to their fundraiser. You can find the links in the description and in the comments of this video. Even if you can't donate, engaging with their content can still support their sanctuary.
So we provide equine-assisted psychotherapy here, and essentially what that means is it kind of takes people out of the traditional therapeutic setting, and rather than sitting in an office, they actually get to be in the outdoors working with our animals. You can see I'm here with Bo, who is one of our rescues, and he's being quite affectionate right now. Most of the folks who come here are folks from low socioeconomic backgrounds, and we just want to make sure that they have access to excellent mental health services, and again, utilizing all of our rescue animals as part of their treatment. This is Nutter, and Nutter does our program called Mini Horses, Big Feelings, and Nutter goes into schools and he does educational programs on mental health. He is able to be my representative as I'm giving a presentation on mental health, what it is, defining it for kids, and then also teaching them how to ask for help. And then once I give my talk, we have a little round pen. And so we invite the kids to come in and they're allowed to do a mindfulness activity with our minis. So Nutter does mindfulness with the kiddos.
I had the honor of meeting with the therapists and volunteers at this sanctuary. Each person shared inspiring stories about the lives that have been positively transformed through their experience on the farm. One particular story resonated with me, shared by Bailey, an associate marriage and family therapist who has been a part of the team for the past 3 years.
I had the privilege of working with a 14-year-old who had been in therapy for 2 years. It was court-ordered that she attend therapy because her parents were going through a bad divorce and all of the kids were required to attend. Her mother brought her here because she had been attending therapy at another location for 2 years, and she was terminated and let go from the agency because she had made no progress. For 2 years, she sat in a room and did not speak to the therapist. And they were brought here as kind of a last resort. This 14-year-old had isolated herself. She was not doing well in school, was unable to really speak about what was going on, and would spend most of her time alone in her room, clearly depressed, clearly struggling. I worked with her for 10 months. 10 months of nothing. She would not speak to me, but she would do the things that I asked. She would groom a horse. She would interact with the horse. She didn't say anything to them, but she would brush them. And so every week for an hour, she would come and she would brush a horse. And eventually I stopped asking questions she wasn't going to answer them. And I just let that be okay. And I did tell her she wasn't doing therapy wrong. She was coming because she was court ordered. That didn't mean she had to participate. We just groomed. She'd leave. She'd come back the next week, we'd groom, she'd leave. And then one day she looked at me and she said, "Bailey, I don't know what to do about my dad." And she started talking. And 2 years later, she has not stopped talking. It turned out she was still being abused terribly by her father. She was being physically and psychologically and emotionally abused. She was being beaten on a regular basis. Once she felt safe, once she was provided a safe place, we listened. She was saying so much in her silence. But once she started verbally talking and we found out what was going on, we were able to become involved. There was an emergency cease of visitation. That was one of the last days that she was required to see her father. 2 years later, she has friends. She's doing amazing in school. She has all of these activities. She's super into sports. She's extremely outgoing. She has a chance at life and a chance to be a regular functioning human because this place gave her the space and gave her the safety that she needed. Most other places, they're going to terminate services if you don't make any progress. When we don't give a timeline, everyone is on their own healing journey and on their own timeline. Currently, we serve just over 400 clients. That's current. That's not to mention the hundreds, probably over 1,000 clients that we've seen in the past 9-10 years that we've been open. Not only does what we do impact these 400 people, but how many people do they touch? Their families, their children, their grandchildren. How did this impact their lives, their work, their careers, that then filters out and expands? And the good that this place does is unmeasured in that way, not just for this community, but for this country and for this world. And we need to stay open for that.
Now, without any delay, let's dive into the behind-the-scenes world of horse care and grooming. I must admit, this was my first time getting really up close and personal with horses, and it felt a little daunting, so please bear with me.
So first of all, when you go and you halter a horse, the most important thing is that you are organized. This is what is called a rope halter. We use rope halters for a couple reasons. Number one, they have much higher sensitivity than like a flat halter. So flat halters, the horse can't really necessarily feel it. And then also these ropes are made out of special material. And so they offer a special sensitivity for when the client is actually interfacing with the horse through the halter. And so that's why we use these. So when you're putting on a rope halter, first of all, you want to make sure that in your left hand, you have the loop and you have the longest piece of your halter. Your lead rope, which is this piece right here, is going to hang on your arm like a purse, and you are never, as you are haltering your horse, you're never going to have this in your hand. It is not necessary. So your halter is in your left hand, your right arm is completely and totally free, and you're going to utilize that for your horse. We're going to pretend that this is our horse right here. This is a very still, calm horse. So this is not reflective of reality, okay? So my right arm is going to be totally free. I'm going to take my right arm and I'm going to just go ahead and put it all the way over the top of the horse's neck. I'm going to hand myself the long piece. So essentially I'm doing this so that if the horse starts to walk off, I can kind of cue the horse and ask the horse to kind of come back with me. So I just take this part and I bunch it up in my hand, so that if the horse walks off, all that happens is this just slides out of my hand. So it's a safety issue. So then I'm going to come and I'm going to be close to the horse's shoulder. This part right here, the round part, is just going to be shimmied up the horse's nose. Maximus, the horse you're working with, is huge. And so it's not going to be easy to do. This long part right here is going to come directly behind his ears. So we're going to pretend that these are his ears. You're going to go through the loop with both of these. And even though these are two separate pieces, you are always going to behave as if they are one. You're going to lift this up and you're going to put your thumb here like a button. And then you're going to make a capital letter D, and it's going to loop behind your loop. And then you're going to go through and you're going to tie a knot, just like that. The reason that you do it this way and you do the knot below the loop is that if for any reason your horse decides to pull or pulls really, really hard, what happens inevitably is that the knot gets really, really tight. And so you want to do this so that all you need to do to loosen that is just lift that up, and then you can loosen that right up. You want to practice on our horse?
I'm going to remember absolutely 0%.
That's why you're going to practice.
Oh God.
It's okay. That's why I'm here. I'm going to help you out. So everything's going to go on your left. There you go. Look at you. You're already a pro.
I'm going under, right?
Right arm goes over the top of the horse. Over the top.
Over the top.
There you go.
I'm too short for this.
I know. We need to get you a stepping stool. And now you're going to hand yourself the long piece. There you go. And now you're going to shimmy it up so that this part goes over the horse's nose. Okay, and you're going to pull that right part up. And we're going to pretend that this is the horse's face right here. So this is actually going to be here.
Lower.
And then you're going to take that. These are the horse's ears. So you can take that over. Go all the way through the loop. Yep, pull. There you go. Excellent. And you can relax this down because now you have your horse and you can release that hand.
Okay.
And now you're going to put your thumb right there. And that you just do that so that you want to make sure that that the halter doesn't like loosen and fall down.
Okay.
And now you can just take this piece and make a capital letter D, and so just have it go right behind the loop. Excellent. Good.
And then through here?
And just go straight through there, and then you'll remove your thumb as you tighten it. Excellent. Very good.
Am I supposed to be doing this on the horse? There's no way I'm going to be able to reach.
Yeah. Well, hopefully a horse will put its head down for you. Max is special, right? So he's kind of a pain in the behind when it comes to, like which is why.
So just make it so much easier for me.
Yeah, this is why I picked him for you. So worst case scenario, I'm here to help you out. And so we'll fix it, whatever we need to do. But it's a good idea for you to know how to do this. So Max has some idiosyncrasies along with everything else. And actually, when you're putting a halter on this horse, some of those idiosyncrasies are reflective of the pain in his neck. And so one of the things that horses do is they actually process a lot of physical pain and a mental and emotional pain through their mouths. And so what he's going to do is he's going to try and catch this piece in his mouth because he starts to kind of chew on it a little bit. And that's just essentially an anxious response to being haltered and caught and brought out.
One of the aspects I cherish most about this sanctuary is witnessing animals thrive in their natural habitats. Whether it's horses enjoying vast acres to gallop and explore, or dogs fulfilling their instinctual roles by herding or safeguarding livestock. It's a beautiful sight to see.
You want to halter Fred and walk him down, and Max will come right down with us? Sure. So go ahead and just hold your hand out.
Which hand?
Doesn't matter, either one.
Like, let him.
And just let him. And wait for him. Okay, he's ready. Okay, and so it's both in the same hand. Right arm goes over the top. And then hand yourself the long piece down on his face. And see how he's trying to help you out?
Yeah.
There you go. And now lift up on that right side and watch his little eye. There you go. And lift. There you go. And go all the way through. And you can pull his head towards you if he kind of turns away. There you go. Good.
I'm totally out of my comfort zone.
You're doing good. Excellent.
And that's it.
Tell him he's a good boy.
Good boy.
And when you pet a horse,
Yeah.
or when you want to kind of praise a horse, you always want to just stroke them. So you just kind of want to like take your hands on there and stroke them. There you go. He's a little dirty.
Just a tiny bit.
Just a tiny bit. And I'll
Yeah, you do that. I'm good. I'm good with you doing that. Totally out of my comfort zone.
All right, so remember how I told you about how he's going to grab a hold?
Yeah.
And so this is an anxiety response that I would anticipate from him, and see how he does some of that funny stuff with his mouth. So he does that just kind of as the means of managing his own anxiety. You're okay. So this is our tack room. In here we have boxes for every single one of our, you don't need the cat food, for every single one of our horses. Everything's color coded and every single horse has their own box. So the reason we do that is twofold. First of all, we use the boxes to kind of drive home the clinical point around mental health and mental health conditions, that the condition in and of itself is problematic for people, and so the response to that is to take better care of yourself. And so a huge theme here as far as treatment is you learn how to take care of yourself by taking care of these animals. So it's much easier for somebody, say for example with depression, to have compassion for, empathy for a rescue horse, a rescue dog, than it is for them to maybe have some compassion and empathy for themselves. So what we do is we kind of start the process by talking about care. And so we take care of these animals, and we take care of them in a very specific and organized way that is nurturing. And so it starts with this box. And it also starts with even the organization of the box. So we have, they're all identical. And again, they're all color coded. So this is Dunn's box here. So he has a curry comb, a mane and tail comb, a halter, a dandy brush, a soft brush, and a hoof pick. And that basically is true of every single one of our horses. So we're going to start the session out with this, and we're going to start with a grooming part of the session. And then when grooming is done, we clean our brushes, we put our hoof pick back, we put the box back essentially the same way that we found it. And so what that does is, just by virtue of not even necessarily addressing it with somebody, it teaches them this idea of ritual and routine as a means of self-care. Everybody has a recipe, a special recipe. So we have an entire list here that has all of our horses on it, has all of their names, and has all of their special recipes on here. Some of them have illnesses that require ongoing medication and medication management, and so all of that information is in here. And then on this side is their annual veterinary care. So every horse has to be seen by a veterinarian at least once a year. They get their teeth done, they get their immunizations, just a basic overall physical exam. And so we make sure that we keep track of this. And so these are the times that these horses are due. And we're gonna be working with Maximus today. And so here's Maximus right here. And even these are color coded, which is just pure silliness. All right, so let's make Max's food. So this is where we keep all of our food. And our supplements. So every single horse gets Platinum Performance, which is this amazing supplement. This I call horse crack. Most of our horses who do not have health issues get this. And it's just something that just kind of is pretty appetizing for them. And then he's also going to get his Platinum Performance, which is basically just an overall nutritional supplement. And they just get omega-3s and things like that. So they get this every day. During fly season, we feed this feed through right here. And basically what this does is this prevents the flies from forming an exoskeleton. So we're really big on making sure that the horses are comfortable, and here's why. If I want my horse to be 100% present and able to do therapy, they have to feel okay. So they can't be distracted by flies. So Maximus actually was a show horse. Unfortunately, through that process, he had fractured a vertebrae in his neck, which made it so that he was no longer able to do his job. And that's why he ended up being surrendered to us. And so he takes it's basically an anti-inflammatory. So this is just essentially horse Advil. And so what this does is this just kind of helps to keep him comfortable, because again, he's got that fracture in his neck. And so we just want to make sure that he is as comfortable as possible. We have everything that you could possibly need to treat a horse for anything that would happen to them. We have everything here. And so what we're going to be doing for Max today is we are actually going to be at least washing his tail and giving his tail a good washing, kind of depending on the sunlight and the temperature, just to make sure that he's comfortable. And then we're also going to give him a really, really good sheath cleaning. And so we have special shampoo for that. And then we also have special shampoo for Max because he is a white horse. And so we need the purple shampoo. This horse in particular, his sheath, just probably because of his skin, it tends to be really, really uncomfortable for him. And so we're going to be washing this out. We typically wash his sheath maybe anywhere in between every 2 to 4 weeks. Most horses actually can do okay with getting their sheath cleaned maybe once or twice a year. But this horse, because of the fact that he just has so much skin overgrowth, it's very uncomfortable for him. And so he likes having his sheath cleaned. So that's what we're going to be doing, and I'm going to be teaching you how to do today. Because of the fact that our horses are geldings, which basically means that they are horses who have been altered or neutered, they're not able to clean their own sheaths anymore. And so we have the responsibility to make sure that we're keeping their sheaths clean. Horses in the wild who are not gelded have self-cleaning that they are able to utilize. And so they're able to do that either through like literally rubbing themselves on their own stomach or even through the process of mating. And so they're able to actually clean their sheaths. Horses who are domesticated and gelded, we have to do that for them because basically they're no longer capable of doing those things anymore. So we have to do it for them. So the other thing that we do is you don't ever want to feed a horse dry food like this. This type of food can actually be a choking hazard for a horse, especially the pellets. Some people feed their horses like that. It's a huge risk to their overall health because they can actually choke. And so you want to make sure that you get it kind of wet. And what that does is it just kind of starts to break up the pellets a little bit. I wet the food. I always take the pill and I put it up on top. And the reason I do that is because the first bite that he's going to take, I want to make sure he gets that pill. So I'm just gonna let him eat. One of the really cool things about this place and this space is that if a horse gets loose and walks around, they're not gonna go anywhere. And so it's not the end of the world if he like walks off or starts eating grass or anything like that. Everything that we ask our horses to do, we kind of put them in a place where they're actually consenting to what they're doing. And the reason that we do that is because we want to make sure that they're behaving in the most organic fashion. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start grooming him. I'm just going to show you just really quickly, like kind of basic grooming horse supplies. So we have a shedding, like basically it's like a shedding comb. You can actually flip this over. So this has like less teeth and this has like more teeth. This we're going to use to kind of get like all of the crunchies off of him. We have what's called a dandy brush, which is like kind of like a stiffer brush. And I typically use that for areas of the horse that are like less meaty. So these I typically only use like on the meaty parts of the horse. So like their rump, their back. I will use it on their abdomen. The only thing about using it on their abdomen is you want to be just really respectful. So whenever you're grooming a horse and you're grooming their abdomen, you always want to start at the chest and then work your way back. Typically I'll just start right here at the shoulder. Just where I'll go. Yeah, and you kind of want to, yeah, there you go. And I kind of think about like flicking off. There you go. But like this part up here, which I know is very hard to reach, that's pretty sheddy. And that's okay, you're okay. There you go. Good boy.
So you want me to just move down the horse?
Mm-hmm. And you're just gonna go all the way down his body.
That's more satisfying.
There you go, yeah, that's more of the sheddy shed down there. Okay. There you go. And you always, yes, excellent. You always want to go with the grain of the horse. I will see a lot of people will take a tool like this and they'll run it in a circular fashion over the horse. Mm-hmm. It is very uncomfortable for horses to do that. Horses have 100 nerve endings to our every one. And so they're very, very sensitive, and especially like their skin is very sensitive. And so when you run something like this in a circular fashion, it's really a problem. And his bottom might come towards you. There you go. And just like I said, just kind of dancing with horses. There you go. Perfect. And you can really kind of dig in deep up there, up on that rump area.
I'm a little short, but
it's okay. You're being so good. Yes, you are.
I just want to take a blow dryer to this.
I know. Probably would be faster.
Yes, and very, very satisfying.
There you go. Excellent. Some of the things that I'll do when I'm in the middle of kind of grooming them, or I'm maybe doing something that maybe they don't necessarily want to do, is I'll kind of engage in conversation with them and ask them, like, where do you need? What do you need? Right? And so like this horse is like clearly pretty itchy up here in this area.
Over
and so
here?
I'm just kind of, well, right here. I think he has a tick in there.
Oh,
and
good.
so you could actually like
Pull
take
that
that
out?
brush and you could actually like get that off of there and out of there for him. And he would probably really love it. So see how even though he's trying to bite me, I'm just blocking him.
He's trying to bite you right now. Mm-hmm. Oh, perfect.
And so I'm just going to get in here and notice how relaxed he's getting. And again, like I'm going to treat him like he's going to bite me. So my hand is ready to block at all times. And I'm just going to move around him as we're going through this. And I always kind of keep one hand on him so that if for any reason he moves, I'm aware of his body and where it's gonna go. And you can see right here, he's like, could you please scratch me right here? And I'm like, yes, I will. I will scratch you right here. And then notice how relaxed he gets. Believe it or not, the closer you are to a horse, the safer you are.
Explain that one.
Yeah, so our instinct is to be out here.
Yeah.
And away from him. But here's the thing, if I'm really, really close to him, he doesn't really have a lot of momentum. So in other words, if he did decide to kick me for whatever reason, I'm so close to him that he doesn't have any momentum to actually get a good kick in. He loves this. And you can see he's kind of relaxing and dropping. And that's a good sign. I want a nice, relaxed horse. I don't want my horse to feel anxious and upset that they're here. So that's actually my primary goal, is to get him into a relaxed state versus actually getting him clean. We are gonna wash his legs and we are going to clean his sheath. And this tail right here is actually white, but you can't tell.
You can see how white he gets as you brush.
Yeah, he's a beautiful, beautiful horse. And we do fun things with his beautiful white tail. So like, to celebrate Pride, we use Brad Mondo's hair color, rainbow hair color, and we will dye his tail like different colors. And he just looks so striking with a purple tail. It's amazing. But you can see he's just really shedding.
He's shedding much more on this side than on the other side.
The worst part about this is that they're not like dogs where you can like do this and then like they come back in a month. He will be this exact same way tomorrow. And it actually feels really good to them to kind of get like the scratchies on their skin. And you can see compared to like the way he was when we first brought him out, how much more relaxed he is. Can you move to this side? And he's like, not if you ask me gently, I won't. There we go, good boy. And we're just gonna get this part right here. Good boy, good boy. Oh, no, no, no. Yeah, I know. Yes, you're so good. Oh, are you gonna eat my hat? Are you gonna eat the mic? Are you gonna eat the microphone? Don't bite me. So horses bite for a lot of reasons. 99% of the time, horses bite out of play and affection. And if you watch them in a herd, that's exactly what they do with each other. I am gonna block him though and say like, please don't do that. And that's something that another horse would do to him as well. If he was trying to bite another horse and they didn't want to play or they didn't want to bite with him, they would just basically kind of push him off of them. And so that's the way I kind of want to interact with him and interface with him.
You have booped this camera several times.
He says, oh my gosh, I need a camera. Start on his front end, and I'm just going to have you actually just squirt his hooves. So you're just going to start with that. Yeah, his feet. And you're just going to start with that. And if he moves, remember you move. If he does that and makes you uncomfortable, it's okay for you to just block him.
Okay.
Yeah. And he knows.
Like that?
Yeah. I don't know. There you go.
I don't know what I'm doing.
There you go. Good. All right. And now I think it's safe to kind of come on back here and let's move to this back leg here. There you go. And again, just be mindful that he might move, and you can tell him he's being a good boy. I know you know how to say that.
Good boy.
There you go. Good. And I tend to kind of keep one hand on him just so I can feel if he's gonna like swing that butt towards me. And then it gives you that opportunity to also praise him when he's being good. So he's asking you to
stop.
Clean his sheath.
Coming
so that's
soon.
Okay. You can just go ahead and just keep going up the leg there.
Coming soon, sir.
It's coming. All right, so since we're gonna do his tail, I'm gonna have you go ahead and just start on his tail. And you can just pull that towards you. And I always start from the bottom of the tail and I just get it as soaked as you can. And then just keep moving up that tail. Now, horses have a bone in their tail as well as skin.
Where does the bone start? Up top?
So the bone is up here, and then you'll feel that it comes like right down here. So all this is just hair.
Yeah.
And then the bone and skin is here. So he's gonna feel that cold there, right? So he may start moving around a little bit when he's like, what is this kind of chilliness here?
Like, please tell me you want me to do your sheath and you're not getting ready to
No,
boot me.
I'm over here scratching Vanessa, that's why. He's just super happy right now. This horse actually enjoys being groomed and he enjoys being taken care of. All right, so while we have his tail wet, let's go ahead and shut that off really quick, and then we're gonna just load his tail up with some shampoo. And you're just gonna use this blue shampoo, and I'm gonna give you a lot. And so you're just gonna take both those hands and wrap it around that tail and just really get in there and just scrub, scrub, scrub. And don't worry about the shampoo or it being too much. So as with dogs, you want to leave this blue shampoo on for a little bit so that he can get the advantage of that blue shampoo, and like it really whitens their tail a lot. And so we're going to just get that in there as deep as you possibly can. You can do it up towards the top as well.
I think I'll need some more.
Okay, and that's okay. You can use water so I can help you out with that. So I'm gonna go in and then I'm gonna go down. So I don't wanna be rude. You never wanna be rude with a horse. I don't believe in washing a horse's face either. They hate it.
Oh, so they're like cats.
Yes. And so notice how much more comfortable he gets, like with each time. And the reason for that is horses always seek release. So when I'm gonna ask a horse to do something that they are uncomfortable with or that they don't like, I have to promise them that I'm gonna let go. The most dangerous horse is a trapped horse. Just scrub, scrub, scrub in there. Excellent. And see how happy this horse is?
I don't know. I can't tell. I don't know horses, but I'll take your word for it.
He's not moving. He's not moving. And so he's letting you know, like, hey, I'm down with what you're doing here. I'm gonna rinse those off really quick. And I'm gonna give you this little mitt.
Okay.
And you're gonna plop that on your hand.
Which side? This side?
Yeah, we're using this side. Yeah. And so I'm gonna put a bunch of shampoo on there. And now you're gonna take this just to wash his legs with. Okay?
Can you go up and down or just down?
You can go up and down with that. That has very, very like soft bristles. The one thing I'm gonna ask you to do, Vanessa, is not get all the way down on your knees. And the reason I don't want you to do that is because if you need to move, you wanna be on your feet. So if I have to bend down and over, I'm gonna be here facing parallel. And I'm just gonna bend my knees to get to where I need to go. And I'm gonna help you out here. We're gonna just whiten up these black legs. There we go, good boy. I'm sorry, I can't help it, I talk to my horses.
You what?
I just talk to my horses like this.
I mean, I talk to the dogs too, but right now I'm just like focusing on not dying.
I'll give you lots of shampoo. Hey, 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 that's my head. That's my hat. Yeah, Max has done some amazing work with people. Some of the work I like to do with this horse, because he can be such a handful, is with victims of domestic violence who kind of need to learn how to assert themselves. And in so many ways, he's like this big, powerful, strong, beautiful horse. What I will do oftentimes with clients is we do like a lot of herd observations, and I might ask a client to look at the pasture and look at the horses and to pick a horse and just allow that person to kind of like focus on that horse for a little bit and just kind of like maybe do a little bit of a mindfulness activity with the horse. I won't ask them like which horse they've picked until a little bit later in the session. And then when they tell me, inevitably, especially if it's like a victim of domestic violence, they typically will pick this horse. And so it just gives me an opportunity to ask them, like, what is it about this horse that attracts you? And so they might say things like the way he looks, right? Maybe the way he moves, he looks really strong. And then I can start kind of like drawing parallels between like some of their decision making around like who they're choosing as a partner. And I can kind of like point out that like maybe somebody might have these attributes, but sometimes they can be attractive, but they can also be like a red flag for us and like really kind of like help us think about our decision making. So is our decision making based on the fact that this person is actually safe? Or is our decision making based on the fact that we just kind of have like this initial attraction and then we try to make that person safe? And so it's just a good opportunity to have conversations around some of those things. Well, Vanessa, I don't even do this good of a job with that. I love it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to rinse off the front, and we're going to start there. And why we're doing that is it just allows more time for that purple shampoo to soak in the back. He's being such a good boy for you. He likes you, Vanessa.
Oh, good.
He really, really does. So you have an audience over here, Vanessa. I don't know if you see this. That's Milo. He is the perpetually curious.
Okay.
Doesn't like his armpit.
There you go. Yeah. Excellent. So we are going to go ahead and we're going to leave that tail still.
Oh, right.
We're going to actually clean his sheath now.
Okay.
All right. So basically the sheath is here. Their testes are right here, and you can see he kind of has like a little bit of scar tissue under there. So this opening right here is essentially where the penis is, and the penis just entirely retracts up into this area. But what I want to do is I actually want his penis to drop, and so I'm just going to kind of work on like picking some of this stuff out, and it may just be that we have to just start cleaning, and you can smell that. It stinks.
Yep, I can smell it.
Yeah, it stinks. It stinks really bad. We're gonna just get a little bit of this shampoo here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it on your hand. Okay, all right. That's okay. And so you're just gonna go ahead and you're gonna come on up in here and you're just gonna start, you can feel like in the top right here, you'll feel like an opening in there. And so you're just gonna go ahead and you're gonna start by putting the shampoo in there, and you're just gonna kind of go around in this area here. And when you're doing it, I want you to kind of be standing over here where my body is. And you're just gonna reach under there. Just go on in, you can do it.
Her face. Oh dear God. This is interesting.
And don't be afraid to get up in there. Phoebe's gonna eat whatever falls out.
Oh dear.
That's like a smorgasbord for a dog.
Is it going to come out?
Yeah, yeah.
She can't handle this. Literally, maybe I don't normally do gloves, but there's a lot of stuff going underneath my nails right now.
We have a fingernail scrub inside.
Thank God. You're welcome, YouTube.
And so what we're gonna do is once you get some soap up in there and you just really kind of get around in that area, we're actually gonna take the hose up there.
Okay, let's do that.
And I'll show you how to do that. And
Is that dirt?
No.
Oh.
It is not
Please.
dirt.
You could have told me that it was.
It's not. It's actually dead skin. And so I'm just gonna work with him and get him a little bit more comfortable. And I'm gonna start pulling. I wanna like pull out whatever.
All right, I'm happy to do that
there.
part with the water. The water is necessary.
So you can get up in here and like once it's wet and soapy, you can like literally just start.
She's gonna vomit
pulling
over
it
here.
out.
Chelsea, are you okay?
And you can get all the way up in there and just start pulling it out. So have fun.
Oh. My mother is gonna be like, what in God's name are you doing?
Yeah, and so go ahead and pull it out and just kind of like rinse your hand off as you're, like you wanna pull it out, there you go. And then you're just gonna reach up in there and grab some more.
I'm using the water at the same time. It's very,
That's fine.
It makes me feel less grossed out.
That's fine.
I'm glad you're enjoying yourself.
And really, don't be afraid to reach up in there.
Oh, I've been pretty
just,
far.
Yeah, and just scratch, like
There is an ending though.
yeah.
It does end.
Well, that's actually, you're running into his penis. Ideally, what we'd like is we'd like his penis to drop all the way down so that we can actually get all of that off of there as well. And if he doesn't drop while I'm doing this, I have other tricks to get him to drop. It smells horrible too.
I don't smell anything.
Really? Oh my God, smell your hand.
I just smell
girl.
I'm not gonna smell my hands. I won't go that far.
And so what I'm gonna actually have you do is on the outside of his sheath, I'm just gonna have you kind of take your nails and just like scratch along here and maybe even scratch
the
in
water
this
off?
area. Yeah, we'll turn the water off. I'm just gonna have you go ahead and just do that.
To try to get him to
We're gonna
come
see if we
out?
can get him to drop, yeah. And this is why I said like I have no friends.
I'm violating a horse. And he likes it, so that's weird. Yes, come on out. Come on out, sir.
Is it coming?
A little bit.
Oh, good.
Oh, dog. Be careful.
He's quite pleased.
I can see that. Does not want to take it out.
No.
Oh. No, put it back out. Stop retracting it.
Did he retract it again?
He's retracting.
No. Do you want me to see if I can get it to come out?
Sure.
Let me see if I can.
I could definitely take a break.
Okay.
So why do you want it to come out?
Because like within the wrinkles of the penis, there's like a lot of like
stuff.
dead skin and stuff. And then also in the hole, so basically like next to the hole, like the urethra.
Right.
They tend to collect a lot of like funk in there too. And so you kind of like want to stick your finger in there and pull it. Like, pull the
my
bean
God.
out.
Your
Hi.
face is killing me.
Let's see if we can start rinsing out his tail and maybe he'll just naturally just drop. So I'm gonna have you kind of stay off to the side and just pull this tail over.
Oh, God. Paying attention to that foot.
Okay, so
Oh,
the
Lord.
next thing I'm gonna teach you is how to pick a horse's feet. Okay, so this is a hoof pick. A lot of times people are really kind of like nervous or anxious or fearful around picking a horse's feet, and they're just like, they're worried about hurting the horse. The bottom of a horse's foot is much like a fingernail, but stronger, much stronger, because obviously it holds the weight of the horse's entire body on it. But as far as like their sensations and like what they can actually feel, it's similar to like what you would think of as like a fingernail. They have a bone inside there, and they actually use the entire foot in order to determine kind of like the ground, and they feel the ground with it. They are able to balance, and there's actually like a softer part to the hoof. So I'm going to show you that. So when your horse gives you his foot, he is essentially giving you his primary defense mechanism, which is to run away. And so I need to treat that with some dignity and with some respect. And I need to let him know that like I have his back. And so like if he needs his foot back for any reason, I'm going to give it to him. And if he needs a little bit of extra support because maybe he's older and he can't hold his foot up, I'm going to help him out and I'm going to be there for him. So this is always a conversation that takes place between me and the horse. So I always start up here, and when I'm starting up here, I'm essentially saying, would you please consider the possibility of giving me your foot? And notice how he said yes.
And then try to eat your phone.
Yes. And so I'm going to hold on to the hoof, the actual hoof, and I'm just going to get in here and I'm going to pry. And the horse's foot has a V shape in it, and this again is the frog. Now Max is kind of unusual in the sense that he has shoes. Most of our horses do not have shoes. He has shoes because his size, he's too big. His body is literally too big on these feet to support it. If we were to take these shoes off, what ends up happening is he wears down the wall so much that he becomes what we call farrier laminitic, and so he gets to be in like a lot of pain. There you go.
So how do I hold it? Like this way?
So take your hand all the way down. Yep, keep going all the way, all the way.
Yeah.
And now kind of push into him a little bit. So push your body into him a little bit. There you go. And now grab a hold of it when he gives it to you. So he's trying really hard to give it to you. There you go. And grab the hoof, not the leg.
Okay.
Excellent.
And up?
Yep. And that's perfect.
That's it?
That's it. You're done.
Okay.
Okay, and now go do the same thing on the front. So I want you to keep that hand on his leg the whole time, because what you're communicating to him is that you have his back. Yep, and just go all the way down. There you go. And grab a hold of that hoof. And don't be afraid to get in there and just pry it out of there. And get that frog part really clean. Yes, in between there. That's the most important part right there. Excellent. You did it!
Hey, that was fun. Is that it?
That's basically it.
We're done with the horse.
We're going to go ahead and we're going to let his tail dry out a little bit. And then once it gets dry, we're going to run a brush through it, and it's just going to be absolutely gorgeous.
Okay.
In there and just like wash it as best you can. I mean, it's easier with water in there, but again, like they get all of this dead skin, and it's very uncomfortable for them to have this in there. And so you just really want to get in there and just kind of get it as clean as you possibly can. Again, it's easier with soap and water to do it. And then this is the area where they will get a bean, is actually like inside the urethra. And so this right here is a bean. And so you just want to get that out.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Quicksilver food. Phoebe, 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 Phoebe!
Phoebe, are you being cut?
Ah, Phoebe, you're so naughty. So Foden, watch out. Foden, Foden. Oh. So we're gonna go around the dog.
And today I am collaborating. Can't do it.
Which one of you jumped on my back yesterday?
The little brown one.
Oh, I knew it.
Yeah.
You look like a jumper.
Are you eating my jacket?
Yes.
Excuse me, I just bought that. Ma'am, sir, I don't know. Are you a ma'am or sir? Sir. Excuse me.
Give her that back.
Attack of the goat.
Don't eat her hair. Oh my God.
You are the menace that jumps.
Yes.
Why do you like my jacket? We lost him again.
It's okay. That's all right. So let me go grab him again.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Are you eating the horse's food? Oh, thank you for farting.
Thanks for helping save our sanctuary. Bye.